Have you tried setting boundaries with other people to lower your stress and your burnout? But you kind of just end up more stressed out because as soon as you start implementing those boundaries, you feel ashamed, guilty. You may even see some pushback, and maybe some people got annoyed because how come finally you have some boundaries and they cannot really take care of that? And it's kind of backfired. And now you think to yourself, I don't know how other people do that. This is stressful. Obviously, that's not the point of setting boundaries. So in this video, I'll tell you 3 reasons why you might have a difficulty of setting boundaries. And of course, we will talk about solutions. Number one reason, which I believe it has to do the way we grow up. And before you run away, bear with me here. So you see, we grew up in an environment. It could be our parents, any caregivers, any authority figure. It could be your grandparents. Maybe you grew up in the, I don't know, whatever that was. You were listening what they have to say. You were observing how they behaved. Their patterns kind of latched onto you. This thing that we, where they say, oh, she's like her mother, oh, he's like his father. Because we learn that behavior, we learn how we react to situation. It goes really from generation to generation until somebody breaks the pattern, right? That's what happened to you and learning how to set boundaries. You see, if you grew up in the family where boundaries was really non-existent, like boundaries, what are you talking about? Where everybody can walk on anyone, everybody can be pushed, everybody can be called names. Privacy? What privacy? You get the point. If there were no boundaries, how can you know what those are? Naturally now, when you're an adult, you have difficulty of setting them because it feels unnatural to you. More than that, a lot of parents love to have an obedient child. Did you notice that in our environment, anywhere we go in society, if the child is behaving, parents are being praised by other parents. They're like, oh wow, your child is so well behaved, good job. And the parents just take that credit like, oh yeah, oh my god, I did it, yes it's mine, yes it's mine. So definitely that is not about the child, but it's about the behavior of a parent. So naturally, when you want to have a very obedient child, you will break all the boundaries. There will be no boundaries. What are you talking about? It's just like an extension of the parent. Obviously, that's not the way to do it. So think about now, and I'm inviting you, no matter how painful it is, to go into your childhood memories right now and think about it. Where were the parents, that really show how boundaries were handled in your family or your environment that you grew up? And then think about it. Were you being told, shut up and sit down? Where your emotions really didn't matter to the people? Where they were laughing at you, maybe even bullying you, invalidating you? Everybody could just cross any boundaries, but because there are none, everybody can do whatever they want to do with you, and you have to be nice. Worse than that, we're constantly being told that we need to be nice to other people, no matter how much they're hurting us. And, remember how you were in the middle school. Were you also a nice person? Were you also this people pleaser? That no matter how much it hurts you, you're still there. You just need to give in and you will be over soon. That's not the way to live, obviously. So if you already discovered that, yeah, it kind of resembles my childhood, no wonder you have difficulty of setting any boundaries. You don't even know what those boundaries are. And that is why also it makes you feel very uncomfortable with that because, well, it's like unknown territory. You may feel also that, not like you just ashamed because, oh, how dare you to have boundaries? Oh, you're supposed to just, sacrifice yourself for everybody else, and how selfish are you? But also you may feel like, wow, if you want to do something for yourself, you will get punished because maybe that's what was happening when you were growing up. I know it's a very difficult topic, but this is how you will learn about yourself so you can move further in your future. This is how you can learn to manage your life, how to get new habits. This is how you can get your self-empowerment, get your power back, and then manage your stress through multiple ways. But today we're talking about specifically boundary setting. So when you already discovered what are those boundary setting patterns are that you already learned, then you start comparing how is that you're managing those now. And if you see similarity, good news. Now you can change that. So, what is the second reason that you may be struggling with setting and staying with your boundaries? It is that we are afraid that we'll be left behind. The fear of abandonment is very, very strong in a lot of us because, well, as you know, we grew up in the environment with other people. We deserve other people attention, but not always it feels like we do deserve just for being us. It feels to us that just being us is not enough. And especially, and again, I'm asking you to think about your childhood. If you've been invalidated, not seen, passed over, laughed at, and, shut up and sit down kind of attitude, you learn to know this thing about yourself that you are not enough just the way you are. And if you misbehave, they can abandon you. And that is very, very scary. And it really plays into our survival mode. Because if they're not happy with you, you're not pleasing them, you can be expelled from the group. And there's nothing worse for us humans to be expelled from the group because, as you know, we are stronger numbers. We need other people to regulate ourselves emotionally and other ways. And loneliness is the worst enemy for humankind, I think. All the crimes and all the hurts happen because people feeling lonely. So obviously you will want to be in a place where you feel safe. So you will do everything for the people. And naturally, when you're in the work environment and they keep on giving you more work and you keep on getting things done, and it looks like the more you do, the more they give you to do. And at some point you're thinking, listen, I cannot do this anymore. But you're afraid to say anything. And maybe this is your situation. I know I've been in that kind of situation. When I came to this country 25 years ago, I was very, very hard on myself. And I thought that I'm going to prove to everyone that I can totally do this. And you know what happened next, right? Yes, I got physically ill because I couldn't do it. And my body said, no more of sleepless nights, no more of working 7 days a week, no more working 12 hours a day, because I couldn't do it anymore. Why would I stop that, right? Somebody can say from a side, well, you should have just told them, no, you cannot take up all those projects. But I was afraid. I was afraid that if I will tell them that I cannot handle so much work, they know what they will do, right? They will fire me. So I was so afraid of being left behind, of abandonment. And you see, because I grew up with my father being alcoholic, there was a lot of abandonment, emotionally and physical. And I felt like every time when my parents don't show up, that night at home, I felt like they died. And that made me feel very, very unsafe and stressed out. So naturally, when I'm an adult now, I brought all of those patterns with me. So I would please people left and right. And I was afraid to say no because, well, if I say no, they may abandon me. You see, any situation like that, it will just trigger my childhood memories. And, I'm talking about myself here. But also think about your childhood memories. Do you have fear of abandonment as well? Do you feel like you people please a lot and you're afraid to say no? And a lot of people I know, they are in relationships where they're being abused emotionally or mentally, and they're still there because they don't want to be alone. And it's so easy to see from somebody, listen, just leave them. But it's not that simple because we rather be in the same situation and not alone than being somewhere safe but alone. So we always do things that benefit us at the end of a day. And sometimes it includes hurt. We even can hurt ourselves. I know, it's kind of sad, but think about it. Where do you feel that you're in a situation right now that you may need some help of learning how to say no, but you're afraid of it? You're afraid to tell anything that may make that other person angry at you. Maybe they will punish you. So you're still in this child mentality. And it's time for you to wake up and say, you know what, I'm an adult now. I don't need to be fed, right? With a spoon. I can manage this. So it's important for you to make, and I recommend now to make a list of things that are really stressing you out. And then ask yourself, how can I make boundaries here? Maybe with a person, maybe with a project, maybe with the time, or just saving your energy. And here's another thing you I may think don't know. I know that surprised me a lot. Having boundaries with yourself, very important. Because if you do not do things that help you to understand yourself more, hear yourself more, and trust yourself, stress management will be very difficult to do. Because if you have low self-esteem, if you bring in the same mentality about yourself and the same belief about yourself that you don't deserve things from your childhood, that could be another reason. That is reason number 3 why you may have having difficulties with boundaries with yourself or others. And I recommend you to start doing small things. That is the thing that you can do every single time when you start questioning situation, or you feel in your body that doesn't make you feel good. Let's say someone at work says, hey, how about if you pick up another project for me? Or somebody says, how about you will come to this event? Or somebody actually does something to you that you really don't feel comfortable. Number one thing is to feel into your body how that makes you feel. If you feel uncomfortable, that is your body tells you that, maybe you need to implement a boundary. This is the time for you to honor your feelings and honor yourself and not to abandon yourself. I know, this is kind of funny because you are afraid to tell them no, so they will not abandon you. But in reality, when you go on with what they want you to do, you're abandoning yourself. I know it's convoluted and complicated, but it's very possible to do nice way and kind of have it a happy medium where you still get what you want and you still don't look so rude. So what is that you do? Now, we got all of those 3 reasons, and really has to do with your parents, how you grew up, feeling that you don't deserve even to have good healthy relationship with yourself, with other people. It really goes all the way to being worthy, and also learning your parents. What did you learn from your childhood, from your parents or from your grandparents or whatever you grew up with, any adult? And then also having enough courage to say, you know what, I'm going to stop this. This has got to stop right now. So start small. Start telling no to people. Maybe start with those first that they will not be so offended if you tell them no. I recommend you go to a mall, and then, there are plenty of people who give you something. They say, hey, get this, get that. How come? Maybe you just say, thank you, no, instead of just taking it. Learn to say no. Also stand in front of a mirror and say, no, 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 until you feel comfortable with that. Also, you always can tell the other person, I'll get back to you. Let me check with my better half. Let me check with my partner, and I'll let you know, are we available for that night. Also, you can tell them, let me check my calendar, and then I'll let you know later. Later, you can send them a message and say, I'm sorry, but we're already busy, so I don't think I can attend your event. Maybe next time. Maybe someone invites you for a dinner and you already have other plans. So instead of saying, yes, of course, I'm totally going to do this, you just tell them, I cannot do dinner, but how about if we'll do Saturday brunch instead? You see, you can come up with some solutions. Maybe at work, somebody says, hey, how about you help me with this presentation? You can say, I really don't have enough time for all of this, but I'll be very happy to brainstorm with you over lunch break. How about that? And there are plenty of ways how you can really start doing that. But the key here is you need to start implementing boundaries with other people and also with yourself. When you stop promising yourself that you will do something and then don't do it. And it works really against yourself when you think that you can do so much, but then you don't have those boundaries. So when you start implementing boundaries with yourself, you'll have more trust with yourself. And then you know that no matter what happens in the future, you'll be able to handle that stress because, well, you trust yourself. You know that you can handle it. And if you need more help with your habits and setting boundaries, I highly recommend you to book a session with me. So go to my website, beamazingyou.com, and you're welcome to book a 30-minute session or a whole hour. And also, I want to give you a gift if you're still listening. I have a calm process, the whole module in my membership site, and I'll be giving this for free. So the code to get that free presentation with videos and worksheets that helps you a lot. Everything, all that is in the description below. And I hope that I'll see you in the next video.